Cold feet and a tie rise to the occasion. A million tiny flashlights, I gotta turn it off. Cold feet and a tie rise to the occasion. A million tiny flashlights, I gotta turn it off for a while. But tonight I'll stay so late. Oh, sleep for a while, too much conversation, too much information, I gotta turn it off. Oh, sleep for a while, too much conversation, too much information, I gotta turn it off. Gotta turn it on. Gotta turn it on. Gotta turn it on.
Good morning, Facebook Live. This is Mike George here, coming at you live. I always say the word live like an annoying amount of times, don't I? Oh God, just like it is annoying right now that I can't get the speaker to turn off. Let's excuse the technical moment for the time being and just kind of roll with it. That almost might as well be a kind of a theme song to my life. Here's my first lip sync for you all. Oh, I'm sorry. I just could not resist a good Mr. Rogers homage, you know. And since I got the sort of the Mr. Rogers style sweater and the song, it just seemed apropos for today. Then did. So, anyways, let me get away from the deafening music here, and just say, hey, it is a Friday morning, a beautiful Friday morning. I mean, not quite as beautiful as yesterday, and the weather conditions that I reported on yesterday during the 20 degrees sort of post-rain time that we had. So anyways, Mike George here. It's interesting when I did this Facebook Live shit like yesterday, and of course, naturally, what one I would imagine does is watch themselves at some point after the broadcast, just do some, if nothing else. Oh, I gotta get this music real quick. You know what? I'm all about letting the song finish out. This is a good song, and we need it, right? It's such a good feeling. Oh, we'll just let Holly take it.
When day is new, and I'll have more ideas for you, and you'll have things you'll want to talk about.
Ah, yes, that was sort of my, everybody, for those of you who maybe aren't familiar with Mr. Rogers, that is a song. It's a good feeling. It's such a good feeling. And it is a beautiful feeling today. I am off work today. I took the day off. It's Friday. I actually have a Friday off. Feels like forever since I've gotten to say those words out loud. So anyways, hi. Welcome to, I don't know, whatever the fuck this is, the Mike George show for today. We'll call it Facebook Live. And I resist using the term special edition because I realized, I went through anyways, happy Friday, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Believe today is actually, let's see, what are we at now? Friday the 18th of February. The good Lord's year 2022. It's kind of weird, like, I have not yet, at least, been able to really have the number 2022, like, that doesn't roll off the tongue yet for me, and I'm realizing, it's February, it's halfway through February, and, I just don't, like, it still feels to me like that weird feeling when you first say, like, the new year, like, for the first time. And I don't remember this level of it in previous years, but I don't know. The year 2022, is it even a real year? Like, it didn't really like hit me that, like, I don't know, saying the number 2022 like out loud, and then telling myself that it's a year, and then telling myself that it's this year. I don't know. And and again, I'm sure it's silly because 2021, right? It's not like the first time we've had, New Year's before. But anyways, I don't know. It's probably just me. 2022 just doesn't roll off the tongue. It has not yet rolled off the tongue. 2020 was an easy one to get used to, I think. I mean, we had all the, 2020, right? Barbara Walters, if nothing else, right? 2021 was a little bit, there's a lot of 21 references, right? 21 seems to be kind of a, for one reason or another. I mean, you see the word, the 21st century, 21, the 21 is a common number, I guess. So it didn't, 2021 didn't feel weird to me to say out loud. 2022 does, and maybe it's because of the alliteration. Maybe it's because of the weird thing with all the, with the 3 repeating 2s. I don't know. It just looks like a weird number to me, and I haven't gotten comfortable with it yet. But I will say, however, so far the year has been good. Not from a alliterative or just purely numerical perspective, but just, things aren't as bad as, things are pretty good. So, anyways, after reviewing actually some of my old, some of my videos that I've produced on here for you guys, I really, first of all, I hate watching myself on camera, okay? I mean, I think we all, unless we're like a hardcore celebrity, like just used to every day general kind of, I guess, attention. And maybe not, I don't really, I've gotten comfortable with seeing myself on camera, I think. And sort of just kind of getting comfortable with, I mean, if this makes any sense, like seeing yourself as a performer that is performing, I can't even like think of how to describe this. Like, I guess seeing yourself on camera versus, the awkwardness that's associated with it. Anyways, as I was watching myself, I realized some idiosyncrasies that I kind of have, some tendencies that I have, some habits that I sort of have in my, whatever you want to call these, in these Facebook Live segments. One that was very apparent to me right away, yesterday's at least, was just the speed at which I was talking, and sort of the, it was definitely a very, like, I was talking fast, and it was kind of a ramble, I suppose you could say. And I don't know, perhaps that's how most of my Facebook Lives are. Maybe I do, that is kind of a natural, I've discovered at least that I have a natural tendency to do that. And, man, like, I didn't really, like, I was never really, like, cognizant or really, I was kind of, there's always times when you're aware, and especially, like, if you're had a lot of caffeine, there's always that, like, one part of the morning, like, I think around, at least for me, I want to say around like 9:30, when all that caffeine kind of kicks in, at least kind of like in the bowels of my body. And I don't know, like that's kind of, I had to actually catch myself, at work or something, or just in conversation or whatnot. Like, I had to kind of like be like, whoa, Michael, get yourself together, pause, step away from, just zoom out, collect yourself, and proceed, But, like, there's this weird thing that I guess, that at least I have, and I don't know if it's, like, a normal thing, if it's a normal sort of anxiety, if you will. But, like, I guess, when I'm on camera, I don't like to not talk. And I notice that kind of in the, I guess, if you, in sort of the rhythm and the cadence of my talking, if you want to even say, if you want to be generous and call it that, because what I noticed was that I had this kind of almost subconscious desire to fill up this audio feed, or whatever, this Facebook Live shit, this channel, with talking, and with my with I had this weird kind of in my head fear of sort of the blank, sort of the crickets, the points in time in which I'm not talking and there's just kind of relative silence, and like, why? Like, why is that anxiety? Like, why? It kind of, and it just reminded me, like, obviously, like, speaking consists not only of the actual, words coming out of my mouth and such, but, in the greater, performative aspect of it, there's the silence, right? If nothing else, silence to think, silence for you to think, silence just to kind of allow opportunities for other shit to come up. If something maybe perhaps tangential but still important, kind of pops in your head and you want to bring it up. Silence is great for those. But it's something that I really want to embrace more. And I've been stressed the fuck out. I think through, just kind of with the usual sort of feeling of being piled higher and deeper with my workload. I would say I have sort of a asymmetric workload that tends to pile very quickly at sort of like these odd times of the month. Anyways, that having been said, like, I just kind of gotten, I don't know, somewhere in all the activity, I just kind of, I just realized, I kind of became aware that I was sort of somehow, like, kind of in some sort of, like, verbal overdrive, I suppose you could say. And, in extreme cases, like, if I'm on some crazy ass weed or something, some, we'll say, substance of the mind altering sort, that thing, that just gets worse, and maybe depending on depending on how depending on how what type of heathen you happen to be, and if you partake in those types of things, perhaps you've seen that in yourself or in somebody else. The sort of when somebody speeds up in the tempo of their talking. And I guess I just wasn't really aware that was something that I had a problem with, except maybe in acute instances, like if I'm tripping on some crazy, on some acid or what the fuck have you, in other words, in some chemically altered state. It's usually the times in which like those types of things have occurred, which I think, much like with alcohol, obviously like people talk slower, sloppier, etc. But the reason I was kind of thinking so hard about this was because something that I remembered, something that was really frustrating to me at the time when I was out in the Pacific Northwest last year was this sort of, I guess, I'm trying to think of the right word here. I'm trying to think of the correct word to use here to describe this. Sort of I'm trying to think of the opposite of synchronization, which I'm probably overcomplicating. What's the opposite of to be synced up with something, now I'm not saying the opposite as in like maybe offset. I'm saying like, what's the opposite of the word, if something's synced up in time, but then it's not anymore. It's basically just, I guess, two independent things, essentially. Anyways, I'm sorry. It's kind of a ramble tangent, a ramblant. Anyways, my whole point being that like there were a lot of times in which it really felt like I was talking or really communicating at a totally different operating frequency than like most of my audience or most of the people kind of around me. And it was like this weird feeling of like, yeah, it was a really weird fucking feeling. Cause like obviously we're all speaking English here, right? For the most part, at some of these settings that I was in, what I'm thinking of right now is the Pacific Northwest, but anyways, oh gosh, I don't even want to. It's a long subject, I guess. It's a bit of a long-winded reflection, just to kind of say that I talk way too damn fast. I've realized, and there's obviously like the thing about the South, with Southern people generally talking more slowly, and there just being a kind of a general. So I just noticed something right now, actually, while I was just doing this, just something right now. I'm noticing that I walk around a lot, I have not stood still in this segment yet, and I'm sort of just thinking in my head about it at how awful that must be for you guys, because like you just kind of see this constantly moving background, and maybe I'm somewhat fixed. Even me, I'm still kind of moving around because I'm not a perfect cinematographer, not cinematographer, but I'm not a perfect cameraman. And so, like, anyways, I was just thinking of that. It's basically a very busy screen, with like the entire background kind of constantly moving and me moving, and I guess just kind of the motion of it all. And I didn't really think about how, that combined with sort of my tendency to ramble and my tendency to ramble fast, how like this video experience overall must be kind of like annoying, in certain ways. One of those ways, obviously being just comprehensibility, basically the ability to understand what the fuck I'm talking about. And like in some extreme cases, like I'm just harking back to like last year in Portland, like with, and mind you, like, this is oftentimes involving like social gatherings with, mind-altering substances and whatnot. And it just became really apparent to me, like, at lots of points in time, as I was talking and just sort of just generally conversing, that, like, nobody was really listening to me at all. And it wasn't like they didn't give a fuck, or maybe I don't know, there was probably some element of them not actually giving a fuck about what I was talking about. That's always the case, right? I mean, interest is one factor in somebody, listening to you, right? They got to be at some level interested. But it dawned on me that, like, it really felt like I was almost talking to a wall, when in fact I was talking to maybe a group of like 3 or 4 people. And it just was kind of strange to me because I'm probably overthinking it. I'm definitely overthinking it. Just like there was a huge disconnect. Like I would talk about something, and then, next person would talk about something completely different, as if like they had basically just disregarded or ignored or didn't hear or didn't register what I had just said. And it wasn't just like one person doing it. It was like the whole group doing it. And I kind of wonder if like any of you guys have had that same sort of thing. Maybe I'm just crazy again, and we all know about my shit, my shit sometimes, but like, these were instances at which like, I was shit. I mean, I at least I felt like I was relatively, sober, sound-minded, etc. So it was just strange because it kind of reminded me of like, I guess the analogy I would use is like in electricity, in sort of AC electricity, alternating current. Where if you go to like, we have 60 hertz electricity, and then Europe has 50 hertz, and like just that difference alone, makes the two systems essentially completely incompatible with each other. I mean, not completely, of course, but just you would never plug a 50 hertz and a 60 hertz grid together. All right, kids. So anyways, like it kind of made me think of that, but from the context of sort of like just conversation, like the synchronicity of it. Like it feels like there's a lot of times where I'm operating in 60 hertz and everybody else around me is operating at 50 hertz. And I'm not trying to say that implying that like they're stupid or slow or retarded or anything like that. It just feels like sometimes like whoa, like we're on not only different pages, but different frequencies, like literally, different channels. And it's kind of an extreme case of kind of the whole talking over each other thing, So yeah, anyways, it was something on my mind a lot, and it just made me really cognizant and aware of sort of the operating speed, I guess, at which I sort of think and function and talk, and I kind of, just generally kind of, I guess, process thoughts, process ideas, sentences, etc. So yeah, I've noticed that with myself, doing a little bit of reflection and doing some, just watching myself on camera and. That whole awkward thing of watching yourself on camera and like hating every goddamn thing you do, and picking out all the little stupid shit that you didn't even know that you knew that you did, didn't even know that you didn't know that you did. So anyways, that's sort of my kind of, I guess, topic, if you will, of the day. I guess while I'm on that, subject, I guess I'll just shut the fuck up for a while and look at the clock here and have a sense of appreciation for how long I've talked on here. That's another thing I kind of lose track of in the big old ramble. So anyways, we have at least a viewer on here. Let's get myself off the hook here for a goddamn second and give me some of your thoughts. What's on your mind? Hi, Patty. Thank you for joining the show. Hopefully you are having a lovely Friday morning. While you guys are presumably talking and helping me out here with the dialogue, and have some coffee. And oh goodness, the best part of the day, the best part of the coffee, in my opinion, is the Italian sweet cream. That is one of my standard things to it. So, anyways, you guys are boring as fuck today. Wow. I have Patty watching, no comments. Patty, I assume I don't know, if you want to leave a comment, go ahead and amuse me. But, I think last time I made a point of that you were driving or something, so I was like, fuck, don't do that. So, in fact, a good reminder, kids, for the safety moments. Texting and driving, don't do it. Of course, everybody says that, and everybody sort of just kind of nods along, but truth is, we all do it. We all do it. Don't you fucking lie. I've seen you texting and driving. Todd, you're texting right now, goddammit. Why are you on Facebook? Just kidding. Good morning, Todd. Todd is joining us from Columbus, Ohio. Welcome to the show. If you are going to give me the generosity of calling this a show. Well, in the spirit of making this a show, let's hear from you a little bit, Todd. How are you doing, girl? Talk to me. Talk to the audience out there. Even if it's just yourself again. Let's see here. I need to find a proper cup for this thing. But yes, I guess this seems kind of basic to pitch, I guess, but, we'll pitch it anyways. But, sweet cream, baby. With sweet cream, you don't even need the goddamn sugar, okay? Just put sweet cream. Problem solved, right? This shit's amazing. And I know, sweet cream. I used to kind of get all the different flavors and all, like Irish cream, butter pecan, hazelnuts. I mean, I still do, but I find the Italian sweet cream is just like a nice, simple, but also very, very deliciously sweet kind of thing. I don't know. Without getting too, without overcomplicating the fuck out of something as basic as the creamer in my coffee, Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Cold Stone, branded International Delight. Fake sponsor, we'll call it. In fact, really, they're not even, I kind of gave them a plug, really. Of course, they always teach you, never do the plug before you sign the contract, right, kids? Oh, Jesus. Anyways, where the fuck am I, what am I doing here? Where the hell is this, yes, okay, yes. I'll just use this cup, fuck it. No. I'm not going to use... No. Sorry, I've been kind of... One of the kind of the weird things about this area is I'm still trying to figure out where to take all the things that I would otherwise recycle. And so as a result of that, I've been sort of just basically hoarding the recyclables with no real answer as to where this shit's eventually going to go. Mind you, I have... done some just basic research and, at least confirm that there are recycling there are places to take my recyclable goods, to process, to dump, not to dump, but to drop off for the purpose of presumably recycling. But, there's not, a collection service in town, anywhere in Alexandria. Just today, this morning, the trash guy, the trash people showed up, right? And I guess, right, and that was great. And mind, actually, I guess while we're talking about that, thank them for their service, please. We're always thanking, the military folks for their service, and, thank them for their service. I'll be thanking them a lot, if Ukraine gets invaded in the next week. But, that whole thing aside, that is one, the garbage folks, and they are sort of part of the utility family. I guess a lot of times even with me, I think of sort of the utility industry as kind of just water and power. But goddamn, if we often forget the garbage men, and I know there's all this stigma about garbage men and shit. But damn it, they are. You can't help but really have some level of respect just for the sheer, the sheer undesirability of the job and the fact that they're fucking signing up and doing it, but also just, the physical demand involved in that sort of work, et cetera. Not to mention sort of the exposure to the public. You don't know what the fuck you're going to run into on a garbage truck in, some shady ass neighborhood, for instance. So, I would like to sort of do a shout out to the garbage men who pick up our trash every goddamn week, at least, Anyways, on that, that having been said, I would like to also recognize, in fact, we'll do a visual demonstration here of the shit pile that is starting to accumulate here. Which is, mind you, not terrible, but actually that's pretty impressive if this is my recycling after only, after a month or so. I think approximately. Nonetheless, this is sort of my accumulating reserve of recycling. We have the cardboard, have the plastic, have the I don't know, the metal cans, whatever, aluminum. This is not recycling. I would hopefully, I don't know what's in here actually. I think I just stuck some recycling thing in there, just convenient, out of convenience. Cardboard, and I guess this one's cans. But anyways, I need to, I guess eventually figure out where the fuck this is gonna go. And I started to do a little, I did the research. I just kind of have to go back and kind of double check. But here's the funny thing, like, there is no one place that I can take all of these things. What I have to do instead is I have to find the paper recycling drop-off point. I have to find the aluminum, collectors. I have to find, the what else did I miss here? Cardboard, aluminum, plastic. I had to find the plastic processors. I literally have to go out throughout the county here and go to like 5 different places to drop off this shit. Like, one person picks, is in charge of the milk cartons, and I'll bet you it'll even get down to the point of like, oh, well, you have to take the number 7 plastic to chip over there. We only take the number 4 plastic, like that type of shit. So like, I have this whole little scavenger, I have this whole little sort of, kind of shit show ahead of me. I use that word a lot. I apologize, shit show, to the point where it's kind of becoming vague and meaningless and losing the intensity of its meaning. But anyways, yeah, that'll be one of my adventures today is driving around the county not the county, the parish, Rapides Parish, and finding where to drop off each of these bags that are recyclable. Since we live in the 1900s here in Alexandria and do not yet have a recycling collection service whatsoever anywhere in central Louisiana. Go figure, right, kids? Oh, and I already tried. Fuck. I need to kind of write some angry letters, not angry letters, but just like what the fuck, people? Where is the recycling? And I'm not to be a Karen about it, and not to be a bitch about it, but I mean, at some level, these folks got to have to know that there's enough, that there's interest, or at least, in this type of initiative, right? It's kind of one. Otherwise, it just ends up being a circle jerk of them not wanting to offer the service because they don't think it's going to be used, and then nobody using a service that doesn't exist, right? The old catch-22 of providing infrastructure that we're not sure if people are going to use. Hence why we can't get anything built in this country resembling high-speed rail, transit, etc. Because apparently that kind of thing is only good if there's a guarantee that the government's going to just subsidize the fuck out of it for the rest of eternity. Anyways, hi, Angela. Nice to see you, darling. It's been a while since we've done these. This is like almost a little bit of a... This had like a weird sort of nostalgia kick in there. But anyways, thank you for joining us, Angela. And here, let me actually read through these comments. Oh, Todd, yeah, we're all just waking up, Todd. Yes. Good morning. Happy Friday to you all. And let me actually get my fucking coffee. I did a good job of talking about getting my coffee to you guys for probably longer than I needed to. But I haven't gotten the damn coffee yet. Story of my goddamn life. All right, so let's see here. All right, let me get some coffee. I feel like I've been doing the pre-show here all this time, and you guys have been bored as fuck. At least the one person that has stuck on here. I need to entertain you guys, okay? So, I have some thoughts. I've been just kind of diving into some new music lately, and one like music thing that I really have fallen in love with, like absolute love with. It's actually an entire series of sort of performances. It's produced by I think it's, I don't know if it's, basically it's from France. There's this whole kind of series of concerts, and this is kind of written in the era of like COVID and everything. So these are sort of like concert streams, like live stream. I don't know what they call them, live stream concerts. There's no audience for most of the time, and it really is just like the performance on stage maybe a few like audience members, that are like lucky, VIP, know the band or production staff, etc. Somebody sitting in those seats, if there are seats. And anyways, yeah, this is a really cool concert series that I discovered on YouTube that I just sort of fell in love with. And they're still producing videos. I'm not really quite sure if it's a sort of a public entity that does this, like if it's somehow sponsored or funded or what have you by the French government through some arts program or arts thing. Nonetheless, it's called Art Concert, art concert in English-ish. And so after I get this coffee, I will invite you guys and sort of take you down the rabbit hole with me on some of these really cool performances that I'm talking about. The first one, in fact, I'll just kind of set it up for you guys while I'm finishing getting this coffee. First of all, has anybody here, I guess the 3 people on here, like heard of the group Jungle? Jungle, like Georgia the Jungle, the Jungle Book, it's a band just named Jungle. Anybody among the 2 people? Well, while you ponder that, let me catch up on the questions here. Angela, hope all is well there in LA, in Louisiana. And by the way, LA is Louisiana, not Los Angeles. But it's always kind of fun to see who gets tricked up by that. But not that Angela did. I think she probably assumed correctly, but you know what happens when you assume about somebody else's assumption? You have 2 asses, and one of them is going to get fucked. Anyways, anywho, let's see. What else, Angela? Yes, I love your lives. Oh, you're really... Angela, I miss you, darling. What's the weather like there? Cold here and snow? Oh, no, not at all. Fuck, I'm just walking... I'm literally having the door open, walking outside. I mean, mind you, today's actually kind of cold. I might not do that. Oh, speaking of which, that was the local garbage man right there. I was giving that shout out to before. So they're literally just now collecting my trash. Yay. In fact, I should say hello to them. I always like to do the whole pop out and wave at the thing. Wave at the guys. Thank you. They probably don't ever get anybody that actually says thank you, right? I don't know. Anyways, no, I mean, this is the weather, darling. I mean, it is actually pretty chilly out. When I say chilly, I'm thinking 8 degrees. 8, yeah, I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit land. 8 degrees would be probably, let's do some mental math here, Michael. Before the coffee, mind you. 8 degrees is probably 32 plus 15-ish. We'll call that 50. We'll call it 50 Fahrenheit. There, 50 Fahrenheit, 8 degrees. But yeah, 50 Fahrenheit. So it's probably not as cold as you. Well, I know that. It's probably 8 degrees Fahrenheit where you are. Jesus fuck. Wouldn't be surprised. That was actually often the case with, between Montreal and Columbus. There would be points where it would be because I use Celsius because that's the actual unit of temperature that 90% of the world uses. But anyways, I always kind of find it I was a little tickled when there's these points in time that that you look at the thermometer and you're not really quite sure what it could be. That often happens that happens a lot in Ohio because everybody knows how fucking bipolar the weather is here, there, and how it really can go from, say, 18 degrees Celsius to 18 Fahrenheit in the same fucking day over there, So, anyways, 31. Oh, okay, 31 Fahrenheit. Okay, so that's just what? Yeah, it's 0 essentially. Yeah, just below freezing. That's not bad actually for fucking February. Because February is a fucking miserable month, from my recollection, So, that's, if this is sort of the worst you guys are going to get winter-wise, and you're hanging on at 31, that's pretty damn good, right? Obviously, it's not the low for the year, but, nonetheless, you got, you just these days, you just kind of be thankful for what you got, right? Because if we've learned anything from dear old Mother Nature and her wrath and the sort of the trends and patterns that are associated with such, she can change in a dime. Always be thankful for what you have because they could change it literally any minute. So, that. But yeah, it's going to be 50 on Sunday. Okay. Yeah, so you're basically going to have what we have now. That's awesome. Fuck. Yesterday it was 20 fucking degrees, like, I think through most of the day. 20 being like, 68 Fahrenheit for you guys, Like, basically yesterday here, it was 68 Fahrenheit. Like, until at least, I think, like, 8 o'clock at night. 8 o'clock in the evening. Like, I had my fucking porch door open, like, blaring out music, gay music to the entire neighborhood for, like, most of the day, and much of the evening. So, that kind of blows my mind a bit. In fact, I'm just looking at the temperature now. I'm just kind of having a look here. This is my little. I can't really see it very well at this. Yeah, whatever. It's kind of dark in here, but it's on the display there. Oh, there we go. Yeah, it's 10. We're reading 10 degrees outside. Yeah, so that's pretty fantastic. God damn it. Like, obviously, I know I'm in the South and everything, but the South does. And interestingly enough, the South has been getting more instances of, like, random, like, what the fuck, ice storms and snowstorms and, kind of, like, unseasonably cold shit. I should say unseasonably cold, but unseasonably, well, I guess it is unseasonably cold, enough to produce that type of precipitation, right? I think most of us heard about the ice event in Texas last year. That was responsible for a large chunk of folks that didn't have power for a considerable amount of time in the fucking cold. Remember? So yeah, that was kind of an interesting. The weather's been fantastic here. Like, when I moved down here to Louisiana, honestly, in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, okay, I'm probably going to have at least a hurricane a year. I'm thinking to myself, there's going to be a hurricane every year at least, if not one awful summer sometime with 4 hurricanes. We've had a couple of those. I think the one that Hurricane Katrina was in 2004, and I think that year that there was Katrina, and then the one right after it, Rita. Fuck, they probably had 4 major storms that year down in Louisiana that particular summer or year or whatever. Somehow, this so far, knock on fucking wood here, I have not, like, we did have Ida earlier in the summer, which fucked New Orleans pretty well, but it sort of managed to basically not really, it fucked New Orleans up, and then, there's like a random part of the Clico system that's kind of north of New Orleans, like kind of, on the shore there. And yeah, it affected that part of the system. But like, for the most part, our system was like fucking spared from what the fuck was that? From Hurricane Ida, which was I think the only major storm that we really had through Louisiana, that was named, at least that I can remember. Knock on wood. But man, I'll take the credit for bringing down some nice, some pleasant, mild weather, I guess. I don't know. Why not? Right? Everybody else takes credit for good weather. Why not me? So, anyways, I'm starting to ramble, and I never did get my coffee here. So let's finish that. Angela, would you ever be up for a visitor? Oh, fuck yeah. Fuck yeah, Angela. If you want to come down here, fuck yeah, I'd love to have you. And, like, I will, let me preface this by saying, Alexandria, Louisiana is sort of like, fuck, Alexandria, Louisiana is a metropolis even compared to, oh God, I was just going to compare it to Steubenville, Ohio for a second, but it's actually quite a bit larger even than that, than that Steubenville area. But I'm trying to kind of do a proper comparison here, because if you're going to do a fair comparison, I would say you'd have to really compare Alexandria to sort of the overall Steubenville, Weirton, Wheeling metropolitan area, that whole region there, and the News 9, we'll call it the News 9, service territory. But yeah, I think I would venture to say that if you added that all up, you'd get maybe perhaps close to the size of this area, Alexandria, which is also kind of not just Alexandria, but perhaps some small little suburbs and such, comprising the greater Alexandria metropolitan area, what they lovingly call here Central Louisiana. So, Anywho, now that I finally got my coffee, it's time. Well, time for something else, I suppose, right? And I did mention that I was gonna. Oh my god, I have the heater on. It's fucking hot as balls in here already. Let me let me actually like turn this fucking heater. I have all these little space heaters here, kind of around everywhere. Some of them are connected to thermostat, or not. Some of them are connected to like smart plugs, which kind of ends up kind of being a kind of a ghetto thermostat because I'm using weather underground to trigger when these things go on and off. So it ends up, anyways. Yeah, I have all these little space heaters around. I just want to make sure they're all off. You know, I hate to waste electricity and pay more money to the evil power company here that I need to. Right, kids? All right, yes, that definitely needs to go off. There we go. Silence. I was good. There was that white noise in the background of the heaters, and now it's just kind of peaceful. Lovely. Anywho. If there's good food there, oh, honey, it's Louisiana, okay? Of course there is good food, okay? That's a given. Fuck, yeah. Angela, honey, let me tell you about good food in Louisiana. No, actually, I shouldn't say that. They do have good food down here. But I would say, like, all the kind of the Cajun stuff, Louisiana kind of things, all those little fried food, Southern Cajun style staples that we all kind of think of. I have not indulged into that. Like, I thought, part of me was thinking, oh God, I'm going to eat nothing but crawfish and I'm going to love it. But I don't know. I was actually surprised at how quickly I got tired of like the po' boys and the, kind of the fried shrimp, the grilled shrimp. All that kind of stuff. I don't want to say I'm tired of it. I love shrimp. I'll still eat some fucking grilled shrimp. But yeah, no, Angela, like there's some fucking good food here. Don't you worry. And to be fair, I don't think I have ever led you astray when it comes to food, even in Ohio. So, I know how to find good food and I know how to find it cheap, I like to think. So, I'll take good care of you, darling. Anywho. I need to just sit down and chill for a second, smoke my bowl here. So I'm going to do that real quick. But in the meantime, I wanted to sort of play, I was mentioning something before about this art concert series. And I kind of want to play it. In fact, I have this other one kind of on standby ready to play for you guys, but I think I'm actually going to switch it up and do this other one that I love. So I was mentioning like this group called Jungle, and I was asking if anybody had heard of it. Nobody replied. I've never heard of it. I'm assuming it's a French, I assume they derive from France in some fashion. However, they seem to, okay, well, anyways, let me just shut the fuck up and play it. But I love this particular one. Well, you'll just see why, and it'll be pretty obvious why, I think, if you got, for anybody who knows me. Let me find it here. There we go, yes. Okay, I'm gonna just flip it forward here. Oh God, that glare is kind of awful. But anyways, I'll play it here and just have some music on while I smoke this bowl here. So enjoy. So yes, you are seeing correctly. This concert takes place inside of a subway station, and I'm guessing it's Paris, like a Paris metro station. Alright, I'm just gonna go and get my speaker on, adjust some lights and shit. Enjoy. I've been loving this fucking concert, this particular concert here. This one in the fucking subway. I wonder if I can turn this. I'm gonna turn it sideways here, try to get. Oh, just kidding. Ah! Oh, I'm loving this already. But yeah, I love this fucking. This band has like a 70s vibe, kind of a 70s funk vibe to me. It's very feel good. Like, I need some feel good shit, people. Alright, I'm sorry about the. I gotta get this weed going here, people. Alright. Ah! Anyways, that is Jungle, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Oh, this is a good song too. Oh, I forgot about this one. Oh, look! The subway's coming! That's pretty fucking sweet. I love that they just have like the subway going randomly through the whole. You know, obviously make sure there's nobody on the tracks.
Change.
Anyways, I'm gonna take. We'll take a little break from. Again, that was the group Jungle in one of their concert performances on the series Art Concert, which is like a French. Well, I know it. I stumbled upon it as a French YouTube channel that features, lots of artists, including some ones that we probably already know of. And basically this sort of post-COVID or I guess really in COVID sort of concert series on television / YouTube. Anyways, all right, I'm gonna probably try to avoid rambling on forever here for your sake, if not mine and my phone's. So the next item on the agenda is, well, the immediate next item is taking off this fucking thing because it's hot. Ooh, il fait chaud. Il fait chaud. Très chaud. Oh, god damn, it's fucking hot. Or at least that's hot because I'm wearing 2 layers in my own inside my home with heaters on around me. So that would be it. That would be a good reason. Listen to that silence. It's actually it's kind of funny. Like I listen to music in this house like all the goddamn time almost, to the point where like when I'm not playing anything, when there's just pure silence, it's almost like it's almost like the silence is its own track. Reminds me of an old quote. A wise woman once said, "He's teaching. We need to be quiet." Say quiet we shall. All right. Anyways, next on the docket here is I want to smoke this goddamn weed. I've been talking about smoking, and again, not actually doing. That's how you know you really have ADD, is that you forget to smoke the weed that makes you forget to do everything else. I mean, in a way, I guess you're saving yourself from forgetting a whole lot more, right? All right. Hello, Jake. How are you doing, sir? Happy Friday. What sorts of details from this week do you wish you forgot or could forget? I'll let you ponder that one. Fuck yes, that is some nice weed. I'm sorry, guys. I've been using the F word a lot. Yeah, I don't even mean that facetiously. I do actually need to kind of tidy up my cursing, or at least learn how to curse in Mandarin. That's what I'll do. I feel like learning Mandarin solely for the purpose of cursing in it. That sounds like a goal that is, achievable, measurable, specific, tangible. That sounds like a decent goal, right? I'm gonna learn just enough Mandarin to curse properly in it. Lossy now. Oh, sorry. I really need to improve that. Anyways, I don't know if I really have an audience left, but what audience members that we do have on the show, presuming to be Jake. Hi, Jake. You have some decisions to make, okay? I'm going to present before you, and then the decision is just going to involve our musical selection coming up next. So in 1 moment, I am going to put in front of, on screen, a set of playlists, Spotify play. Oh, the person just went away. I guess they were not intrigued. They were not amused by this game. Y'all suck. I'm a big game person. My roommate does not. My roommate here. Oh, first of all, I have not even introduced the roommate. I feel weird just regarding him as a roommate. His name is Derek. He's somewhere creeping on Facebook in some shady ass like hidden profile somewhere. But nonetheless, he has been an amazing person to really he's been sort of like my fucking rock in Alexandria. I mean, mind you, like there have been a few people, a few folks that I've met. And it's kind of weird. Like, gosh darn it! Like my fucking social life is, like, for a while, at least like in Columbus, for instance, like there was sort of my small cluster of work friends, and then like the other 95% of my friends, which are generally queer, gay, etc. Actually, I shouldn't say etc. It's queer, whatever, queer, which includes gay and all that jazz. Anyways, what was I even going with this? Oh yeah. Obviously, like just with my sort of, I guess, the composition of my friends circles, or what is left of them, I should say. Like my social life revolves. I mean, if it's not painfully obvious to you folks by now, a lot of my social life, had revolved around the gay bar in some sense or another. I lived by one, or I regularly attend. Just kind of popped in and out of one. On a weekly occurrence. I mean, I was in I was an officer of a queer organization. Queer student. Kind of a queer student society at one of Canada's largest and supposedly most prestigious academic institutions, the Harvard of Canada, as they say. So there was that, and anyways, there was a whole point of this whole thing. What was it? Queer. Oh yeah, just my friend circle, my the people that are in my life, my chosen family, 95% queer, etc. This area here in central Louisiana, Alexandria and Pineville, and some of the surrounding communities, there is no gay bar here. And I know I shouldn't be shocked. Obviously, I shouldn't be shocked. And like, Lord knows I've lived in places before that didn't have a gay bar. God damn it, right? But like, nonetheless, like I just it just sort of dawned on me that this is like the first place that I've lived in as a queer identifying person. And this does not include the time that I lived in Steubenville as prior to adulthood. During which I identified as straight. And, and it's kind of interesting. I mean, okay, yeah, we'll just say that I was in the closet. Because I was. I'm not trying to deny that. The reason I hesitated, though, was because I sort of, it's sort of like I kind of even convinced myself that I was straight. Heterosexual, what have you, And so that's kind of interesting to think about from a standpoint of, like, my own sort of identity and my own sort of agency, if you will, and then the decisions and the emotions henceforth, Hi, Stephanie. Oh my gosh, Stephanie's a friend of mine from undergrad, from Dayton, from good old Wright State University, the 6th floor. Stephanie, I don't know if you remember we will always remember honor 6 West, 6 West. Okay, as I forget it. As I forget the thing I just cherished that I just promised to remember. Je me souviens. Anyways, Stephanie comes to us. I know her from residence hall in university in Dayton. Fuck yes, that was eons ago. It's a good fucking times, man. And like, first of all, can we just stop and just sniff the obvious here? What the fuck are these is Wright State doing naming a dormitory building honors? Like how pretentious are we trying to be here? Okay, like can we just run with the fact that that you stick all the smart people in one building? Yeah, sure. Like that's cool too. Whatever you want to do. But then the slap on slap on the name honors dorm. Like you couldn't even fucking think of the first honors chair or something, like the first dude who thought of the honors program, who conceived the honors program. And you couldn't think to put his name on the fucking building. You just put honors dorm. And you just do it to kind of, be pretentious about it, obviously, right? I mean, that's the only reason I can think of. Nonetheless, Stephanie, we lived in the honors dorm. Thank you very much. So, whatever. We'll play the pretentiousness and just go about and carry on, I suppose, right? Play our part and everybody's happy. No, but let's talk about what really went down on 6 West, Stephanie. Let's talk about some of the real stories that the honors kids, whatever the fuck, because there were a lot of non-honors kids there. It wasn't just the honors kids. That's kind of the joke about it all, So, I mean, what the fuck would even, if you have enough non-honor, I mean, and I'm not even trying to be, excluding about it or anything. I'm not trying to, kick people out of the building or anything like that. But, fucking, hey, why do you fucking, anyways. I mean, especially when we live in a world where it's, where it's generally, I think, understood that one of the major things about university is that you hang out with people outside of your little bubble, right? And so anyways, and I get, okay, well, anyways, that'll be there's an entire debate, I'm sure, around sort of the merits and, the pros and cons of, sort of grouping people by so-called, how smart they are, because, I shit you not, and, I don't mean, I am not, please don't take this as, me kind of, spitting on just, on academic, on scholars programs and honors programs and so forth. I think those things are valuable and they ought to be, exist. I mean, I'm not saying those things are inherently bad or evil or divisive even. I mean, divisive, perhaps they produce unintended consequences that then are divisive. But anyways, that's another shit. That's a whole tangent, girl. Anyways, let me get back onto the fucking fun stuff here. 6 West. Man, I'm trying to think of the shenanigans on 6 West. And I think for a while, you and I had gone through our times when we really tried to separate ourselves from the shenanigans, you know what I mean? Because obviously it was a fun floor, but there were just times when we needed to get the fuck away, for one reason or another, either because we were actually being good students and studying and fearfully studying for our next exam, all that, and locking ourselves in our rooms and so forth. Either that or oh fucking no, I'm just remembering some of the other folks on our floor. And I don't. This is gonna sound okay. Whatever. It is gonna sound kind of whatever, but they were definitely not honors kids. If you look at some of the folks on our floor, it would be easily if you stood all of us up, all of the people in our building, and kind of went kind of detective style down the line, and with the goal of trying to root out the try to find the non-honors kids, you would find these folks right away. No offense, I know it sounds kind of insulting, an insult, but I mean that in the best possible way. But no, they were amazing. Okay, so if you get offended, I apologize, and I will write you a lovely note. I don't mean to say you're dumb, any of these people, but I got that whole group, God, Casey, Krista, that whole, fuck, they were partiers, girl. I mean, very plainly and shamelessly so, right? And I loved them for that. And I just love that they were just kind of stuck into with the honors kids, Jesus fuck. I think looking back on that all, it's just that thing, I can't help but laugh at all that bullshit. I shouldn't say bullshit. There's some, like I said, there, whatever, the whole, I guess the pretentiousness of it all is kind of what I'm referring to more so here. But because I shit you not, I was starting to say this before, actually. I was also in addition to the at Wright State, the dorm building being the fucking honors dorm. I'm sure a lot of us can associate to this in some level. I had the I went actually, and I don't want to spit on this program at all, but I shit you not, I was in this program, and this program I should actually try to see if I can get involved as an alumnus. Anyways, this program is called the Martin Essex School for the Gifted. I shit you not, the title consists of School for the Gifted. And like, okay, cool guys, I'm really flattered. I'm fucking honored, in fact, to like get to be in such a exclusive little club. Thank you for that honor. And yeah, kind of, that's funny. Thank you for that honor. It's kind of an ironic irony in a way. Anyways, oh gosh, but like I don't understand like how, I don't know. I guess I just failed to, maybe, I mean, obviously it was a different world back then, and I am, I'm a believer in rewarding like people who achieve, good grades and tangible metrics of performance, academic performance and aptitude and skill, etc. All the things you'd want, and being able to have a yardstick, a fair yardstick to divvy out all the scholarship to eventually down the line, right? Anyways, my point is, but damn it, that's so fucking audacious in my opinion. School for the Gifted. Anyways, I was in a program that was, that was the name of it. Oh gosh, Steph. Anyways, oh my god, like this program. Sorry, I just went on I think I went on like 3 different tangents here, but like the tangent I want to continue here is the one about this like honors shit and like gifted shit. Like give me. I mean, there has to be a way to sort of like challenge smart people. To kind of provide like accelerate. Like for instance, AP classes and accelerated programs that sort of kind of are in line with kind of are in step with their advanced level of aptitude and shit. And so forth. But like, I just find that the sort of like the smugness about it just so like, I mean, I don't know. I mean, obviously, I mean, I'm sure, shit, I don't know. Maybe it's kind of one of these things that's just like, well, duh, that's just the way it always is, has been. But like, fuck, I just kind of, I fail to see like kind of what the whole point of that is, I guess, really, the pretentiousness of it. But I don't know. I'm just trying to, even just as a fake Ivy League, having gone to a fake Ivy League school in Canada, like, I mean, of course you can imagine there they push that shit major too. They sort of, oh god, what the pretentiousness of it all. The I am better than thou because I'm ranked so and so by U.S. News and World Report. Right? Like, I find it so hilarious. First of all, that a magazine has such what turns out to be such fucking power, basically. Because I shit you not, like these fucking, like, what is it? The U.S. News and World Report is one of them. There's some other, like, I think there's like 3 major, like, kind of widely accepted, the fuck is the, like, I guess magazines and like, authorities on sort of, colleges and universities and so forth. But I find it kind of hilarious that we have given them so much power to the point where, like, literally, I think there are, schools will react to these types of things. They'll like, it'll, these fucking rankings and these fucking like, sort of like measuring, metrics and shit, like produced by, again, a magazine. This will like, these things like that will compel these universities to like say, fucking build a stadium and waste a bunch of shit on a stadium or something, Sorry, I mean, that's perhaps a bit unfair, I guess, I mean, anyways, where was I? That was an obvious soapbox to nowhere here. Let me go back onto the train of thought where the fuck I was here. Yeah, I guess just, the academic performance is sort of the snootiness of the of honors and scholars and things like that, But, I have to, I'm not, like, again, I'm not disparaging the whole concept in the first place. Like, I love being in, like, I benefited from being in some, like for instance, like the fuck, I can't even remember what they're called anymore. Like the high school version of these things, where we basically had a cohort of, so-called gifted students or whatever you want to call it that, cohorted together, which was actually kind of nice now that I think about it. 'Cause like it kind of, obviously like it's the same group of us. So it has a slight advantage just in the sense of, kind of the camaraderie and the consistency of the, of having the same people around you, and all day versus, different people floating around through the day, throughout different rooms and such, where you'd have otherwise in a standard arrangement. God damn, fucking hate holding these phones all day, which is probably a good sign from the Lord that I have rambled on enough with y'all. So, Sally, Joshua, thank you guys for chiming in, or for tuning in. You guys haven't chimed in yet, but, it's never too late. Gosh, let me actually look through the other. I'm so behind here on responding to Comal's comments. Oh gosh, yeah. I'm just reading Stephanie's comment here on the back to the honors dorm thing. I know my roommate was. Do you remember her putting random crap in the freezer? Oh God, what? Like what? Please, oh God, indulge me, Stephanie. What did she put in the freezer? You have to kind of be. I mean, I'm trying to think. My imagination here is just kind of working here. I'm trying to imagine what kind of bizarre shit. I'm trying to remember. Oh yeah, I'm trying to remember who you're. I mean, without mentioning her name or like kind of calling her out or something, I'm trying to remember which one. Oh, you were Diana's roommate. Yeah, right. Okay, yeah. Okay, sorry, I did just call her out, but she don't watch this shit anyways, so. Oh, God, cigarettes? Ooh, I'm trying to think now on the cigarettes one. Cigarettes, if they're, like, in a cold environment, like, I don't think you'd want that at all, actually, because I think it's kind of like cigar. I'm just thinking of cigars. Like cigars, wouldn't want to put in a fucking freezer. Like you want the humidity. You want the I guess enough heat to have the humidity for the to kind of keep the cigars moist enough to not, I guess, dry out or whatever, right? So anyway, sorry, I was a long time devoted to cigarettes. I just kind of had a logic to kind of think that one out a little bit. Apples. Apples in the freezer, huh? That one I might accept, actually. I think there is some reason. I think there is a purpose to doing that. Frozen apples. I don't know. I mean, I'm just thinking preserved, and obviously not to actually. Oh, Chrissy. Oh yeah, she was like the. Okay, wait. I'm trying to think now. There was. Yeah, I was okay. I think I sort of like only vaguely recollect. Yeah, I'm just kind of trying to picture like the sort, who was, which two of you guys were in which rooms. I'm trying to like kind of picture all that a little bit. Yeah, because it was. Sorry, this is a little bit of a fucking thought ramble. I apologize, but yeah, because it was a lot of. God damn it! That was sort of a sequence of 3 rooms, if I remember right. I'm too fucking stoned to think that out without at least a fucking notepad. Jesus fuck. Yeah, but let me think about shit. Anyway, that's sort of a goddamn. That's gonna be a fool's errand for me to try to do that. Singer, actress, she didn't last. Oh. Okay. Damn, that sucks. Oh! I remember who you mean now. I completely forgot about that. Was like a holy shit. How did I forget? Because like, oh my, yeah, that was the whole like little like, oh my God, that was like the little theater circle within our floor, right? Yeah, she was out loud, bitch. Oh my God, she had her voice just fucking punched through the air. I swear to fucking God, but even just when she talked, like her voice just fucking, you knew she was somewhere on the floor if she, you know what I mean? God help you. God help you for fucking like living with the woman. Jesus fuck. Sorry, I should not say that. I know you probably are offended when I say that. I apologize. But shoot, like Stephanie, that is hilarious. I forgot about that bitch. Like, oh my God. I mean, I have nothing bad to say about her. I apologize if I whatever. I admired that actually because she was really cool. I've hung out with that little like theater crowd on my floor a few times. Like not directly usually, but it was usually ironically, when like. God, this is not horrible, but like it was usually like when somebody I slept with from the theater department invited me like to hang out with them, which was so weird. Like in a way, because these were like literally people that were on our fucking floor that I just didn't like normally hang out with, except through another guy, another person that was in the same department. I just think that's kind of funny in a way. Like they were definitely like that whole theater crew was definitely like sort of, they sort of kind of like they definitely sort of like ghettoized themselves within the floor in a way. Like it seemed like they just kind of hung out within themselves. And I can't remember if they were like intentional about that or if it just kind of how naturally we all kind of sort of grouped up among ourselves. But I don't know. I was always like, yeah, shit. I'm recalling now because I was back when I was straight, so called. That shit. I always remember there was that weird time in like that first year of right state for me at least. That first year in which I was straight, like fuck, that was when I was dating Lindsay and shit like that. Like I was playing that whole part, which like I did not. I mean, to be fair to her, I did not fake that. I mean, at least we'll just say the non-physical aspects of what I would consider love. Like I still love her. Fuck it. I'll still say that. When I say I love somebody, I mean it like regardless of time or post or pre arbitrary date of so-called what I mean. I don't know. Love to me doesn't care about bullshit like that. End of soapbox on love. But anyways, I have a whole thought train on that actually. Kind of along, just kind of based. Anyways, that's a whole fucking tangent. I had a little bit of a religious question for you on the aspect of love and God and love and so forth. But God, that's a whole rabbit hole, sister. But I don't know. Some of you guys are down for it. So if you're down for it, I'm down for it, Stephanie. I just had a question about the whole God is love thing but on the notion of love sort of like being timeless is going to sound so like lame and share like. We'll say independent, temporally independent, we'll say. No, that even sounds kind of fucking weird. What the fuck am I trying to say here? Love is basically just God damn it. Love is basically I guess timeless would be the simplest way to put it. Oh, that's right. You did move rooms. That's right. Oh my God, I kind of vaguely remember that. Right. That's right. Because you moved to. That's right. I think you moved and then ended up with Diana or kind of one of those girls, if I recall. Shit, I'm trying to remember now. I mean, that might have even been before I really like met you, really, But anyway, yeah. Shit, that floor is. Oh my God, this like looking back on that floor is kind of hilarious. Like that was like. We were, like, our floor is sort of, like, unique among all the others in that building. Because now that I think about it, yeah, shit, that's kind of, no, wait a second. I'm just thinking, I just realized, like, I was not in the honors program at Wright State. Why did I think I was? I mean, I was for, like, oh, God, I'm trying to think of the whole fucking shit show for that. Like, the Wright State University honors program. Because I think at the time, I think that whole floor was supposed to be the non-honors floor or something like that. Because I was on, I don't know, I vaguely remember it. Oh my God, that's even more hilarious. We were sort of like at least I was sort of like what do you want to call it? Like the one who really shouldn't have made it in, Sort of the, what's that word? I can't think of that fucking word. Almost like an imposter. There we go. An imposter. We were imposter honors kids. Okay. Oh my God, I almost love that concept, like, in of itself. That's actually a kind of, the whole idea of, like, imposter honors. Like, you there, pull up your GPA, please. Like, it's kind of like it would be like the equivalent of, like, getting pulled over and, like, having the cop ask you for your license. Except, like, in this case, they'd be, like, asking, like, for your report card or some bullshit. And, like, honey, if it ain't above a 3.5, you're gonna have to go bye-bye. Or some bullshit. We gotta think of a clever catchphrase for that, I think. That would, something, yes, yeah. Something that's easily slips off the tongue, in about 2 seconds or less. But yeah, oh God, it's second year. I totally forgot about second year. Shit, I think that's when a lot of us moved on to one. Anyways, shit, we're this is kind of hilarious, Stephanie, because like this, like in this whole video stream, nobody's gonna give a fuck about like any of this honors dorm bullshit. But here we are, just kind of going on about it. I don't give a fuck. Let's see here. Second year and after is when Diana, Alana, Lindsay. Okay, second year. Oh, that's right. Wait a second. Second year. I thought second year was when a bunch of us moved to the first floor or something like that. But I might be getting my shit. I don't know. I'm kind of forgetting that, or maybe I think it might have been the case with me or something. But fuck, I don't remember now. Second year and after is when Diana. Second year. Oh, right. Okay. Okay. Well, which does entail the first floor. Okay. Yeah. That's not in contradiction with what you were saying. Okay. Okay. Sorry. I kind of we'll just say I had a stoner moment. Oh, Lord. Anyways. God damn it. It's so I hear some like fucking truck out there or something. Something with some low frequency bass. Anyways, Stephanie, oh my God, thank you for reminding me of this all. Like, you're kind of bringing me into a little time capsule here to the year 2004, baby. 2004 through, what, 2006-ish? God, when G-Dubs was president. I think I think that was one of the little things that we had in common, Stephanie, that we were both, like, Republicans. I was a Republican back then. Good Lord. I was a straight Republican back then. Fuck. But I was never really religious. I never really had the whole Christian conservative vibe, at least me. But anyways, yeah, University Park. I loved University Park. Of course, it was expensive as fuck, in the end, because, they got away with charging us a shit ton just because they had furniture, ghetto fucking furniture in there. But we paid it, we're the idiots here, of course. That's okay, I say it's worth it. My justification for the absurd amount of money I paid for living on campus was the fact that I would never have another chance in my life to do it again, kind of thing. Like, Michael, this is the one time in your life that you'll ever get to, you have the rest of your life to, to rent a mediocre apartment somewhere in the suburbs, But this is the one time, baby, that you can live in, the honors dorm. Oh, Lord. Oh, my. Let's see here. Well, Bill, hello, sir. Bill comes to us from the Centre of Ohio. Welcome to the show. We are reminiscing on Dayton, actually, so pretty damn close. Oh, yeah, it was worth it, honey. Oh, I mean, experience is a kind way to put it, darling. Oh gosh, that really was fun. Like the whole experience of living, like the whole living on campus thing. Again, expensive as fuck, but like, in my case, I'm grateful I did it. Despite the consequences that I'm still paying off. I'm probably, Sally Mae ain't done yet, girl, with me at least. Actually, on that note, I did pay off one of my loans. So this is kind of random news, but that was kind of a nice little thing, nice little check box. I paid off one of my student loans. Actually, it was a significant one because it was co-signed. So I mean, gets the other party obviously off my neck a bit about it. So everybody is happy. But like, funny enough, like the person that is co-signing it. Oh, anyways, story that I probably don't need to go into while she's probably watching the damn thing. Hi. Thanks for co-signing my loan, darling. You can stop making payments on it, please. It's paid off. Anyways, anywho, but yeah, tiny little accomplishments, Stephanie. Hopefully your student loans are all paid off by now, darling. At least the Wright State ones. I mean, Wright State was a reasonably cheap school, I thought. In the grand scheme of things. And I'm thankful for that, but anywho, I'm trying to recall, Stephanie, oh shit, I'm sorry, mate. I'm gonna get some coffee here. Or some just liquid in general here. But yeah, I love living on campus, and I loved our floor. Like, oh, damn it, I miss you guys a little. Like, we should, I'm trying to think of, like, a chance for us to kind of like have a reunion or something, like some excuse for us to get together. I mean, it's usually it's been like the weddings and shit like that, but fuck, everybody's married now. Not me, of course. That's okay. That's okay. That's kind of my own choosing. But I shouldn't say choosing, but we'll say the goddess. Well, the goddesses. The goddesses have spoken on that. Anyways, I digress. Yes, good. Oh my god, congratulations, Stephanie. Seriously, good job. You just paid off the last fucking student loan? Seriously, congratulations. Oh my god, okay, so there is a song for this. There is a fucking song for that. I hope, here, I'm gonna deviate from the script here. Assuming kindly that there was one. And we are gonna, okay, you gotta stay on the line, please, for one moment. If you can, obviously. What time is it? 9:35. Okay, you don't got any meetings coming up. It's 5 past a half hour. It's just starting a meeting, if anything, if you are, in fact, in a meeting. I mean, this is considered a meeting, right? And we're talking business, right? Business. So, that means we can expense it and all that jazz and then get the tax write-off and all that, right? Right? We'll get Donald Trump's accountant on the line for that one, huh? I'm sure he's somewhere looking for something to do. Oh, fuck. Anyways, moving on. I have a song for you. Sorry, let me get that song here. It's devoted to paying off your student loans. Congratulations, Stephanie. Like, seriously. Like, I would clap my hands, but that would probably void the warranty on the phone. Fuck it. There we go. But nonetheless, let me get that goddamn song here. Sorry, I've been dragging that out. I know. Oh, you're gonna love it. I hope. Well, I don't know. You'll either love it or hate it. But hopefully you'll at least get a chuckle. Anyways, oh god, I should not have a mirror. It's probably like the cardinal rule of cinematography is you should never have a mirror in your background. But, that probably didn't fuck up things too badly. Anyways, Stephanie, without further ado, congratulations, darling. You are at 0 balance. This song is called Sally Mae Back. I'll even lip sync it, honey. If I can.
For those who doubted me, yeah, this is payback. And I've been on my grizzy, yeah, since way back. No sir, and I don't drive a Maybach. But guess what I did? I finished paying selling Maybach. 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 My name is G1. Let me tell you what I've been through when it come to Sally. She call me at least twice a day. She want our money badly. Calling me from different numbers. Ooh, she think she slick, but I got them all memorized. I hit ignore quick. Needed tuition, needed room and board. Had to pay for books, so I took out loans to feed the boy. Graduated.
Oh, this song is amazing.
Enough to pay him back when in default. Mess my credit up, check my Equifax. I ain't proud of that. I'm more proud of that. I ain't drowning that. I got 2 jobs, really got on my grind. No time to whine. I can't ride the pine. In the game right now, my time to shine. Started paying them loans back one at a time. Got them down till I paid them all off. Peace sign. For those who doubted me, yeah, this is payback. And I've been on my grizzy, yeah, since way back. No sir, and I don't drive a Maybach. But guess what I did? I finished paying selling Maybach. I finished paying selling Maybach. I finished paying selling Maybach. I finished paying selling Maybach.
All right. So for anybody who wanted to...
Inside my crib, yeah, you know I just had a long day. Just got off of work, they got me drool. My boss kept me late. Walk inside the kitchen, grab a dish, and then I fix a plate. Bread, beans, and rice on a Monday. Then I sit down on the sofa, grab the remote, and turn on the news. Open up my laptop, kick off my shoes. I see that I got an email from Sally Mae. Did another month pass that I forgot to pay? Oh no, hope this email ain't wrong. It said congratulations on paying back your student loans. I took a screenshot, boy, I had to say that. Then I hit my homeboy like, I finished paying selling Maybach. I finished paying.
This song is priceless, girl. Congratulations again.
I finished paying selling Maybach. Yeah, it's just for $40,000, $50,000, $60,000, or maybe it's more. Is it $80,000, $90,000, $100,000? How much do you owe? Is it $40,000, $50,000, $60,000, or maybe it's more?
Oh my god, this song is genius. I fucking love it. Ooh.
For those who doubted me, yeah, this is payback. And I've been on my grizzy, yeah, since way back. No sir, and I don't drive a Maybach. But guess what I did? I finished paying selling Maybach. Maybach. I finished paying selling Maybach. Maybach. I finished paying selling Maybach. Maybach. I finished paying selling Maybach. Maybach.
Oh, congratulations, Stephanie. Okay, what's all right, that was, I should probably end this broadcast soonish. I feel like my phone is getting, I'm actually quite impressed that my phone has lasted this long without getting angry with me or low on battery or some nonsense. So, it's nice to know that in the year 2022, we've achieved something. No, I'm just kidding. No, seriously though, congratulations, Stephanie. That's pretty awesome. Fuck, I still have student loans to pay off, girl. Oof. That's all right. I haven't been I'm sort of gathering, I'm sort of gonna consolidate shit to a point where I think I'll accelerate my payments on. Anyways, thinking out loud here. But no, seriously, congratulations. Fuck, personally, I want to start a business and shit like that. So just having these student loans out of the way and shit would be just so nice for the purpose of just kind of clearing out obviously the credit and all that. So, and I'm sure all of us have different financial, shit. That's what a nice what a fantastic albatross off your neck. Congratulations again. Anyways, folks, I should probably get the fuck off of here at some points and get something done in this beautiful Friday. So I'm going to sign off of here, but, in the spirit of dragging us out just a little bit further, I'm just going to find a little song to sign off on here. And thank you guys for joining me, and I will be very impressed at if you actually made it through the entire sort of honors dorm flashback sequence that probably only me and Stephanie really give a fuck about. But nonetheless, Stephanie, thank you for joining me. And let me find a good little just kind of song to kind of depart on. Let's see. It needs to be something. It needs some pizzazz, I think. We need some pizzazz. We need spirit fingers at minimum, right? Yes. Oh, but there's I don't know if anybody's a fan of Halsey. This is kind of random, but the artist Halsey, she has, I just discovered that she has an album that came out. I mean, probably not even that recently, but I just had discovered it. And so, in case anybody is a fan of the darling Halsey. All right, I'm sorry. Let me find a fucking song here. Oh, here we go. This is perfect for the occasion. It's Lana Del Rey. When the world was at war, we kept dancing. I don't know if you guys have been watching the news, but, how many of you guys think we'll be at war sometime in next month? Hopefully not the U.S. directly, but anyways, place your bets.
Don't forget your pearls and all of your horses as you make your way across the pond. Girls, don't forget your curls and all of your courses. Memorize Shake it up, throw your hands up and get loose.
Oh no! Speaker's going buster. Okay, here we go.
We just want the fucking truth. Is it the end? Is it the end of America? Is it the end of America? Is it the end of America? It's only the beginning. If we hold on to hope, we'll have a happy ending. When the world was at war before, we just kept dancing. When the world was at war before, we just kept dancing. Don't forget your toys and take all of your money. If you find you're in a foreign land, boys, don't make too much noise and don't try to be funny. Other people might not understand. Shake it up, throw your hands up and get loose. Cut her up, lean into the fucking youth choreo. We just want the fucking truth. So let it fade. Is it the end of America? 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 It's only the beginning. If we hold on to hope, we'll have a happy ending. When the world was at war before, we just kept dancing. When the world was at war before, we just kept dancing. Do it again. Oh my God.
Sorry, this is kind of like sleepy Lana, but it seemed apropos. All right. Stay safe out there, y'all. Be kind to each other.